Hello everyone and welcome to today's first ever webinar for Automatex. We are partnering with Geek Plus today. My name is Kayla Brawl and I will be your moderator. Our session will run for 60 minutes, including a 10-minute Q&A session at the end. We encourage you to share your questions throughout the webinar in the chat box on the side of your screen. Questions are anonymous. We'll address them at the end of the Q&A session. This webinar will also be recorded. So once again, thank you for joining us online and let's get started. Welcome to today's webinar, Staying Put, Scaling Up, How Warehouse Automation Helps You Grow Without Relocating. First, introducing our speakers. So, Marcel van Niekerk, Director in Sales of Business Development at Automatex. Marcel, I'll hand over to you to share a little bit about your background.
Fantastic, thanks Kayla. Yeah, so I'm Marcel. I'm one of the co-founders and directors of Automatex. And my background, essentially studied mechatronics engineering. And for the last 15 years, I've been working with industry, both from a factory automation perspective as well as warehouse automation, to just work alongside our clients to optimize the operations, to automate systems and processes. And it's an absolute pleasure to be with you here today. Thank you.
Awesome, cool. Now, unfortunately, Jordan McPhail is officially on parental leave as he has become a new father. So luckily, Marcel has taken one for the team and will be covering Jordan's slides today. Next, joining us from Geek Plus will be Ryan Zhang, Senior Solution Advisor for Business Development across the APAC region. Ryan, tell us a bit about your experience and the background.
Thank you, Kayla. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. This is Ryan from Geek Plus. I'm now the Solution Advisor and Business Development for Geek Plus APAC team. And my career actually starts from supply chain management, and I've been working with several top-tier retail companies in the logistics and operation excellence. So in Geek Plus, I now actually has been working with quite a lot of retail customers globally in the past 4.5 years, helping our customers to apply Geek Plus technology for their order fulfillment, automation. So thanks to Automatex for inviting me today and share some experience with you today. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you, Ryan. And finally, from Geek Plus, we're pleased to announce Wantha Dumbuela, Sales Manager across Australasia. Wantha, over to you for your introduction.
Hey guys, and thank you Automatex for giving me the opportunity to be part of this webinar today. Just as Kayla mentioned, I am the sales manager for ANZ for Geek Plus. I come from a intralogistics background for about 3+ years as well. Been in the automation industry for about 3+ years as well. But before we start, I wanted to ask you guys a question, and please answer this in the chat if possible. If we rewind back to 2015, a year full of breakthroughs, can anyone guess what product launched that year completely redefined how humans interact with technology right now? I'll give you the answer when we get to my segment of the webinar. So within that time, if you guys can answer this question, that would be great.
Awesome, wonderful. Thank you, Wantha. So, Automatex. Let me give you a little background about Automatex for those of you who don't know who we are. We are at the core system integrators that provide automated warehouse solutions across Australasia. We're a small but mighty team of about 36 in 5 different office locations. This includes high-level engineers, project managers, a solutions and sales team, and now a marketing team. Over the past 5 years, we've stamped our mark across Australasian and New Zealand shores with projects in Melbourne, Sydney, Dunedin, Auckland, and more. Automation is at the core of what we do. delivering innovative solutions that transform production, strengthen safety, and drive efficiency for industries across Australasia. We don't just solve challenges, we create smarter, more resilient businesses, unlocking growth and long-term success. Geek Plus. Well, today's webinar is joined by our trusted partner, Geek Plus. We have been working with Geek Plus for over the past couple years to employ automated solutions across Australasia. Geek Plus is a global leader in mobile robotics technologies, providing innovative solutions for order fulfillment. With over 850 industry leaders using their systems, Geek Plus delivers flexible, reliable, efficient, automated solutions for warehouse and supply chains. Founded in 2015, Geek Plus has more than 990 plus employees in offices worldwide, including the US, Germany, the UK, Japan, South Korea, mainland China, Hong Kong, and Singapore. Trusted by brands like Adidas and Walmart, Geek Plus partners with industry giants like Microsoft and Intel to drive the next revolution in supply chain logistics. So, today I will give you a quick overview of the agenda. We'll dive into the pressure to scale and the hidden costs of relocating. Then we'll discuss why warehouses can't just move anymore and the challenges that come with relocation. From there, we'll explore what smarter automated solution systems look like and how it enables you to scale within your four walls. We'll also share a couple case studies from real companies showing you the impact of automation. After that, we'll cover how, if you know that your business is ready for automation. And finally, we'll wrap up with a Q&A session and closing remarks. The key objectives. So we'll look at the key challenges of warehouse expansion and why relocating can often be costly, disruptive, or simply impractical. We'll explore modern warehouse automation technologies that help you maximize space and throughput within your existing warehouse. We'll talk about how to evaluate your own facility's readiness for automation and how to pinpoint the best high-impact areas to start. You'll also hear real-world case studies of businesses that have successfully scaled operations without relocating. And finally, we'll leave you with some practical steps and follow-up resources on to help you begin or accelerate your own warehouse automation journey. Cool. So, Marcel and Ryan, the pressure to scale and the cost of relocating. Marcel, if you'd like to take the slide away.
Excellent, thanks, Kayla. Yes, I just want to cover some of the financial and some of the operational challenges when it comes to relocation of your warehousing operation. You can just jump over to the next slide, please, Kayla. So just touching on some of the challenges that businesses face when they get to a point in their business where they have kind of outgrown their current operation, their current facility, and they stuck with a choice of either having to pick up and move to a larger facility elsewhere, or whether they stay within their current facility and try and make that work as best they can. So a few of the challenges that you face when making this decision is certainly the financial impact. Ultimately, it's not just the moving cost, but that in itself carries a lot of the expense. It's purely just the relocation of the equipment, the racking, the lease, and so forth. Often businesses have to pay the lease on the existing facility as well as the new place that they are moving into. Then we get to the operational side of things. It's often a massive challenge just keeping a business running while you are relocating your operation. And often businesses just can't afford to be down for 2, 3, 4 months while the new operation is going live. The logistics of just moving your inventory across, moving your systems and processes across, a lot of the time that in itself can be just a crippling challenge. never mind bringing bad processes from your existing operation into the new place. And then lastly, just want to touch on the workforce aspect. And we've heard so many times of businesses relocating to a new location, and then they have a real challenge hanging on to their staff, because obviously people want to work where they are, where they feel comfortable, where they've established themselves. So you end up with a high rate of turnover and often staff shortages when you actually need them the most. So that's just some of the challenges that companies face when faced with this relocation conundrum. Thanks, Kayla.
Okay, thanks, Marcel. I think next I will cover the space utilization and the scalable automation part. As I mentioned earlier, that I've been working with several leading global retail customers at GeekCraft. So we have actually observed a clear market trend that the business are under growing pressure to make a smarter use of their warehouse space. So from what we see, there are three key market forces behind this shift: rising warehouse costs, evolution of the e-commerce, and growing ESG commitment. First, the rising warehouse costs are actually reshaping how companies think about the space. To stay competitive, the customer cannot afford to see the space as just a fixed expense anymore. It's becoming a very strategic resource for them. Actually, in fact, the global prime warehouse cost has been risen by about 3.6% in the 12 months leading up to March 2025. So that's a significant jump, and it's forcing the customer to rethink about how every part of their facility is used. And of course, the second big driver is the e-commerce, and I'm sure many of you have seen these trends firsthand. Over the past decade, e-commerce has completely changed how our logistics and warehouse operate. The complexity is very high from managing a wider product mix and processing a higher number and small orders and individual orders. And then there's a challenge of a return. Of course, customer is expecting a very seamless, fast return process. So that means the retailers need to have a dedicated area for inspection, repacking, and restocking. So all of these take up value space. And to stay agile, the companies need to be have flexible modular solutions that can adapt to these fluctuating demand shifting, and also the customer behavior to ensure the space is used efficiently. Last but not least is the ESG. So actually, in today's business, they are under increasing pressure from the regulators, customers, and investors to reduce their environmental impact. So by using the space more efficiently, the company can cut energy consumption, whether it's for lighting, heating, cooling. So a compact warehouse is naturally consume less energy and has a smaller carbon footprint. So I think that it's not just about ticking the compliance box. It's also about building a competitive edge. So for those companies that value sustainability, can have a better position to earn the trust from the stakeholders and attract more eco-conscious customers. So I think in summary, the rising cost, e-commerce, and the sustainability pressure are reshaping the way business take a look at the warehouse space. Okay, next slide, Kayla. Okay, another trend is about the automation scalable alternative. There's a key finding from a recent survey that more than 3/4 of the respondents identify resilience as a very critical resource for their organization. So that tells us something important, that in today's world, resilience isn't nice to have, but it's a must-have. So we have all seen how global events like from pandemic, tensions and economic uncertainty can expose the weakness in the supply chain, right? So to stay competitive, the companies need the system that can adapt quickly, recover fast, and scale smooth in business evolve. So now automation has always been praised for improving the efficiency, reducing the cost, and of course that's true. But in today's environment, it's not just about efficiency anymore. It's about also the flexibility and scalability. So the traditional automation system are usually built for consistency and repetitiveness. They are very great for when the things are stable. So, when demand spikes, the product line changes, or unexpected disruption happens, that's when the rigidity becomes a problem. So take e-commerce as an example. During the Black Friday or holiday sales, the order volume can be skyrocket. So a robotic system can scale up instantly to handle a surge and then scale back down and return to normal. Another advantage is the modular automation. So you don't have to automate everything at once, that you can start small and maybe with one process or one area of your warehouse and then expand gradually as your business grows. Okay. So I think next I will share you a compelling example of how the flexible and scalable automation can drive remarkable outcome for business. Let's see how it is done with the robot solutions. So in this case, you can see our client need to reposition over 1,000 racks to make the space to new customers. As you can imagine, this task will typically require extensive planning and will lead to significant downtime. But as you can see from the video, the flexibility of the robotic solutions allow the system to quickly adapt to a new layout. So this highlights the real power of flexible and scalable robotic solutions. Okay, I think that's all I want to share for this part. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ryan. So now we will move on to why warehouses can't just move anymore. Awantha, would you like to take it away?
There is a couple of things that I wanted to cover within this slide, which is like, why delaying orders are hurting your customers and labor shortages and why they're not going away, and so on and so forth. Next slide, please, Kayla. All right. So there are three things that that we have seen from meeting different customers and so on and so forth, and visiting multiple sites that that we've actually noticed when it comes to labor shortages. It's most of the time what we have seen is they use the current labor force to fill in gaps, which means that is actually you're starting to hire a lot more casuals and so on and so forth, which leads to a little bit of low retention and often a lot of retraining as well, which leads on to a lot of higher error rates in picking and packing as well. and then over reliance or overextending the hours needed for these labor force, causing burnouts, and it just actually drops in long-term productivity, again going back to the point of it leading back to low retention of these workforce. The answer normally was to throw more hands at the problem as well, and delaying or missed or damaging these sorts of products are leading to more customers losing trust, and also the contract performances. And at the end of the day, the labor shortages are not going away for both countries, for Australia and in New Zealand. And it's how can we help in this sort of scenarios is the best way that I could answer this. If you go on to the next slide, please, Kayla. So in this moment is when I'm going to actually answer the question that I asked at the first part of my introduction in the webinar. So if anybody was thinking or actually answered the question, it was actually the Apple Watch. It was the first sort of product line that Apple released since the iPad, and it made technology like sort of wearable, personal, and seamlessly integrated into our lives. And that's what true innovation looks like, not just adding new tech, but changing how we experience it. And at Geek Plus, what we really want to do is our automation solutions do the same, and making warehouses more intelligent, wearable, and working within your existing sort of warehouse, and trying to make it as simple as possible. So what we want to then focus on is like, how can we reduce the labor dependency to make it a lot more simple, to increase that accuracy and throughput, taking away that retraining process for the current workforce as well, and also to enable it in a scalable and a flexible manner to help your operations grow more. So if anybody actually got Apple Watch in the question, well done to you. But what we will cover in the future slides is how can we actually do it in your existing warehouses as well. So over to Marcel from my side.
Excellent. Thanks, Awanta. So I'll just at a very high level cover what the key automation tools that we use to address some of these challenges, and then ways that you can kind of scale within your existing four walls. So when we look at a modern warehouse operation at the moment, there are still a lot of operations that are traditional pallet racking, traditional picking methods, using pallet jacks and fork hoists. So at a high level, some of the tools that we have available in the automation suite. Over on the left-hand side, we've got a few goods-to-person style solutions where we are either bringing a shelf of product or even a tote full of product from the warehouse floor to a picking station. What that means is your operators don't have to go and troll through the aisles, find that one piece of stock that someone misplaced or someone put in the wrong box. Essentially, the totes and the shelves come to the pickers, and the system directs them exactly what to pick, how much to pick, at which time. Then over at the top left, we've got some of the AMR solutions that still operate in the grid function. And essentially, this is a very, very flexible solution where you can either bring pallets to people or you can bring shelves to people where they can pick bulkier goods that doesn't necessarily fit into a tote off the racks. And those tote to person and shelf to person technologies can coexist in the same automation grid. Over on the top right, we've got the four-way shuttle solutions. So you might see a bit of a theme here where we are essentially standardizing on the carrier mechanisms. It's either totes or it's a shelf or it's a pallet. And that allows us to essentially bring whatever stock it is, whether it's stock on a pallet, stock on a shelf, stock in a tote, through to a person to be able to pick from it. So the four-way shuttle really helps with those pallet storage and retrieval tasks. Over on the right-hand side, we've got a couple of very flexible moving technologies. That is the moving AMR and the moving AGV. And this technology is ideal if we are moving product from point A to point B. So it might be from a picking area to a staging area, or from a staging area to an outbound area, inbound through to induction. And these AMRs just really give you a lot of flexibility where you don't necessarily want to put in fixed infrastructure like conveying solutions into your warehouse. Bottom right, we've got the robotic container unloading and loading solutions. So this is where we use a robot on a mobile platform to unload loose loaded containers. Again, when we talk about end-to-end automation solutions, we can now start looking at robots unloading your containers onto conveyors. The picture just to the left of that is a palletizing robot, so we can convey the cartons to a palletizing robot to get it onto the pallet. We can take the AGV or use the AGV or the AMR to pick up the pallet and take it to an induction point for your four-way shuttles. So you can start seeing all of these various technologies coexisting in a warehouse environment to really optimize a warehouse space from end to end. A couple of other solutions we can look at is on the sortation side of things. So whether that be your more traditional conveyor sortation, cross-belt sorters, or even some of the newer AMR solutions, either on tabletop or your pedestal robots for sortation. And a newish technology that's emerging, still in its infancy, but very much gaining ground quite fast, is the robotic picking arm, where we can present a tote and we can use vision systems and AI and a robotic arm to pick items out of a tote. So that just gives you a high-level overview of some of the tools that we have available in the warehouse automation space. Very good. So when it comes to scaling within your four walls, a few of the factors that we really look at within the existing space that you have available is how can we increase the throughput of your current operation. Obviously, when we talk about manual picking, that can be, depending on the product profile and your order profile, can be quite slow, can be quite cumbersome. So being able to speed up the throughput in which we can both put stock away and retrieve stock to fulfill orders is one way we can really maximize the floor space from a throughput perspective. We can also look at vertical expansion, so utilizing your ACR or your robo shuttle style solutions, high bay storage, four-way shuttles, mezzanine floors, to be able to utilize the vertical space in your warehouse a lot more efficiently. When we talk about micro automation, that is often where you can automate certain workflows within your warehouse that allows you to use people in the more value add type of tasks rather than just shuttling stock from one side of the facility to the next. And then all of that gets tied together through very clever data integration strategies where you can start integrating between your warehouse management system, your inventory control system, your order management systems, all the way through to your automation that's on the warehouse floor. And that's generally through a system called a warehouse control system or a warehouse execution system that can really orchestrate all these various pieces of automation to work together to really maximize the space that you've got available in your facility. And obviously, some of the benefits that comes through the automation implementation is you get enhanced accuracy, get enhanced inventory control. You can really mitigate a lot of those manual handling errors, manual picking errors through the use of automation. And yes, OCR and barcode scanning has a massive part to play in that space as well. Matt, just acknowledging your question there. And certainly from an automation perspective, it's not just you rip everything out you've currently got and you have to put in a full-blown automation system. It is scalable, it grows with you and with your operation. So you can really start small, start with a small goods to person solution under mezzanine or some packing automation solutions somewhere within your warehouse, and that can scale as you grow. And it really helps with that future readiness. Being able to integrate all of that beautiful data from your processes and from your systems back into your workflow optimization plans, your maintenance optimization plans. All that data becomes really valuable as you start automating within your four walls. Thanks, Kayla.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marcel. So now we will go on to what is a smarter automated system. Geek Plus will share a couple of their solutions. Today we will show the pop pick system and the robo shuttle. And unlike traditional automation, Geek Plus systems are modular. That means you can start small and scale over time. Installation takes weeks and not years, and your team works with the robots, not against them. So let's start this topic. Awantha.
With regards to the PopPick solution, as Kayla mentioned, this is the next iteration of the shelf-to-person solution. The solution can be deployed within weeks, which is a great advantage for everyone, as well as it is very forgiving on flow conditions as well. You could increase the density of your existing warehouse utilizing the solution. Plus, also it fits as many different types of SKUs as possible into the existing grid as well. If you go on to the next slide, Kayla. The solution actually focuses mainly on efficiency as well. The PopPick Lite workstation focuses mainly on providing the totes to the picker. It is ergonomically designed to increase accuracy, to reduce lower back fatigue. And also one of the key points that I wanted to highlight with this workstation is there is a machine capability for this workstation to actually present around 300 totes per hour, which is a really good sort of output when it comes to the PopPick Lite workstation. If we can go on to the next slide, please. So we go on to a case study with Shipuru that we've done in Melbourne, and I think Marcel will step through this once the video is actually done.
A challenging warehouse operation in many businesses. The challenges drive the need for operation efficiency and require optimized solution for operation.
What really surprised me was how fast we were able to get robots into the grid and stress testing the system.
The collaboration was very powerful. I guess exciting thing around working on this project and working with AutomateX and working with Geek and learning together through this installation.
I've worked on many AMR projects, but with this being the first PopPick installation in Australia, what really surprised me was how fast we were able to get robots into the grid and stress testing the system. It only took us 19 days from when we first arrived on site to we were successfully running the system to its full capacity.
The robot can run in a dark environment and it helps to save energy. Automation solutions contribute to environmental friendly warehouse operations by reducing energy consumption through optimized workflow.
As it's part of the P series from Geek, it allows us to extend the grid with various other technologies. AMR shelves with hangware or standard carton picking, or even picking from AMR pallets.
The solution here in FC1 is really fit for purpose. Obviously it's a small site, 7,000 square metres in total, but to have a solution that takes up a grid size of 2,000 square metres and can store 44,000 totes and upwards of 50,000 SKUs is a sustainable solution that meets our growth needs. We can continue to add to the grid over time, and the time frame also to install and get it up and going really did have an impact on the early stages of our business when we were starting to scale up.
Automation can help increase operation productivity and optimize storage utilization. Keepers developed advanced algorithm for optimized order structure, and it enables operator to pick real-time order. PopPick system boosts picking speed by up to 50% and enable faster order fulfillment. With these solutions, They empower the business to respond quickly to market demands and enhance customer satisfaction.
We were able to scale up to 3 shifts, running circa 10,000 e-com orders a day, which is the equivalent of about 30,000 handling units. So to be able to get that up on a site of this size just wouldn't be possible without the solution that we've put in. At Shipperoo, we really value our partnerships, and we definitely have that with AutomateX and Geek Plus. Everyone has, it's a fun attitude, very alike into Shipperoo's values, and they're really great to work with, but you can also have honest and open discussions around what we're looking for, what we need, and what the gaps are to close to be able to deliver the project. So
I'm extremely proud of this project. Our ability to help Shipperoo and Geek adapt the solution to meet changing requirements was such a rewarding project for me to be involved in.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think certainly something to highlight there was the collaboration between Geek being the vendor, AutomateX delivering the project for Shipperoo, and just that close collaboration really meant that the project went seamlessly from the start. And certainly from Shipperoo's perspective, they are a third-party logistics company. Their whole business model is based on the fact that they need to get stock into the system fast. They need to get orders out the doors as quickly as possible, and really being able to implement the Geek Plus Popix solution for them meant that in a very, very short time frame, we could get the automation system in, we can get it up and running, they could get stock into the system and start fulfilling orders. And comparing that to your more traditional solutions, even your more traditional warehouse builds, it's just unheard of. So being able to work with them to scale up such a system in such a short amount of time was really an experience to be had. So thanks, Kayla.
Back to you, Wantha.
Thank you, Kayla. So also something that you do notice when you watch the case study is the flexibility of the racking as well. The rack is actually 3.8 meters in height. Not all racks are completely tote based. They are actually running racks with some mixed SKUs as well. So they were able to have a few bulk picking workstations as well within the same grid, which gives them that flexibility they need to pick from the pop pick station. So racks with totes on top, totes at the bottom, but also the bulky item being in the middle, like you see in this slide at the racking pictures. They store the bulky items right in the middle, so they are able to pick it from there directly as well. So it's a high throughput system. It's the tallest shelf to person solution available right now in the market. That is available for you right now and can go into any existing warehouse without any issues. If we can go on to the next slide, please, Kayla. So the shelves are removable and very customizable as well. The biggest thing that we can see from the solution is the way that we can deploy it fairly quickly. The workstation itself comes in a very modular design. So if you are a fan of products like IKEA and things like that and want to put it all together by yourself, I don't advise it. I would say always talk to Marcel and get that sorted out, to be honest. But in saying that, it only takes about a couple of hours to actually put it together and deploy, because it's designed in a way to plug and play straight away and then go live as quickly as possible for you as well. And the beauty of the PopPick system is, let's say that you are scaling up and want to move to a brand new site, you could pick up the whole system and redeploy it in your brand new site as well. All right, we come to a more high density, high throughput solution in the tote to person picking solution, which we call the Robo Shuttle. The Robo Shuttle actually offers 5 times more storage, and you can have more flexible scenarios. It's a high throughput system, as I mentioned before, with a machine capability of presenting around 600 thoughts per hour per workstation. Next slide, please, Kayla. The Robo Shuttle again focuses on that efficiency with that 600 thought per hour per workstation scenario. You could have a combination of a few robots, with the P40 robot accompanying the Robo Shuttle, which is the RS11, RS8 robots, or the RS Air that sits on the racks as well. As you can see from the slide, there are multiple throughputs for each robot, whereas the RS Air can give you an extremely high throughput of about 110 thoughts per hour, and the Robo Shuttle itself can give you around 60 thoughts per hour, and the P40, which is the companion bot for both of these robots, can deliver around 25 thoughts per hour. Next slide, please. Now I wanted to hand it over to Ryan to talk about the Dr. Pharma case study.
Okay, thanks, Avanza. Now let me share this quick real-world example on how our automation solution helped the Dr. Max, which is one of our Europe's leading pharmacy chains. So actually, Dr. Max operates more than 210 stores in Italy. And in 2023, they've made a big move to expand their operation and strengthen their omni-channel and e-commerce capability. So to do that, they have built a 14,000 square meter automated warehouse in Tailgate. So their vision was actually very clear. They want to redefine the pharmacy experience and become a real health reference point for the local communities. But they have faced challenges on how to efficiently fulfill the orders across a large multi-country network, including Czech Republic, Romania, and Italy, while serving both the e-commerce and retail customers at the same time. So together with our local partner there, we implement total person solutions, as Avanza just shared. The solution is in this project is 8-meter high Robo Shuttle for vertical storage, which maximizing the space utilization, and the P40 robots to enable the faster and accurate picking. So this system is now managed over 11,000 SKUs across e-commerce and retail. And the result has been fantastic. Dr. Max has achieved 3 to 4 times higher efficiency comparing to their previous manual setup, and reach over to 99.99% fulfillment accuracy, which is absolutely critical for the pharmacy industry. Even more impressive is that the entire project was completed within just 3 months. So the speed of implementation gave them the agility to keep up the rapid of the market change and growing customer needs. So I think they've not only improved the efficiency, accuracy, but also build a more resilient operation. So now let's take a look at the video and see how this transformation come to life.
We create a strong relationship with crews across Europe in different countries and different projects, because we found a supplier that have the flexibility we need. We would like to change the automation technology in order to improve our throughput, improve our productivity, but also to have a better space utilization.
Our wide range of solutions, which includes booster person, total person, and pallet person, makes this job really easier, because from the initial idea to the final one, we have different possibilities to tailor the solution based on the customer's business needs.
Dr. Max, automation is the key for the success.
Okay, so as you can see from the video that Dr. Max project is a perfect example of how the technology and partnership drive a real result. So like what we have our local partner AutomateX in the NZ market, I think their local expertise and on-site support can ensure very smooth integration and fast development. And our strong local partnership like this will help us to make the robotic solution truly successful. So our partner like AutomateX help our customer to move faster, adapt easier, and get your lasting value from your investment. So I think that's what I want to share for this case. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. So as you can see from the slide, the Robo Shuttle solution can scale up from 5 meters tall to about 12 meters in height. You could store your cartons, foldable totes to your large size totes. So the tote size can range from your 350 totes to your 850 totes. As a general rule of thumb, in ANZ, we are focusing more on providing the 650 tote as a standard offering to our customers, and making sure that you get that extra bit of space within the tote box as well. Just to also let you know, Marcel and the team has done multiple Robo Shuttle installations as well in ANZ. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about the solution, please speak to Marcel and the team, and they will guide you a bit more. So if we can go on to the next slide, please, Kayla. So the Robo Shuttle can handle, which is the robot that moves within the aisles that you saw from the previous 2-3 slides, which is the RS11, handles basically the B and C type SKUs with significant fluctuations like for daily outbound shipments. But the RS Air handles the A class SKUs a lot more efficiently because it is a lot more faster compared to the Robo Shuttle. But we are able to design the system just simply by using Robo Shuttle robots as well to hit your desired throughputs without any problems as well. So next slide, please, Kayla. So now I just wanted to hand it over to Marcel to talk about the readiness for warehouse automation.
Excellent, thanks, Awantha. Yeah, so often when we start having some of these automation discussions with our clients, it's working with them to really understand at which point in time are they ready for automation. And I think there are a few indicators that if you are experiencing any of these, I guess, conditions or symptoms, it might be a good time to then think whether there's something to be done about it. So one of the indicators is certainly when you are starting to experience that fast growth in your business and you feel that the warehouse or your warehouse operation, the systems, the processes, the workflows can't quite keep up with your workflows. Certainly some of those growing points, it means more hands on deck, more people, more management, more labor, and all of that just increases chance for the second point, which is really where the mistakes come in. And when the systems and the processes can't quite keep up with the throughput and with the growth, the error rates start climbing up, and that has a real cost implication to your operation. Obviously, anything that you have to send out and handle more than once with any returns, it really does cost real dollars. So next, when you are experiencing those seasonal peaks, and it's something that a lot of businesses can't get away from, but you can certainly manage it a lot better. So every year when that crazy Christmas rush comes and you promise yourself you'll do something about it for next year, but they never get around to actually doing something about it, certainly you can, at that point in time, you can get your baseline going really well with automation, not necessarily designing for peak and putting an automation system in that can handle peak, but then you can always supplement it with some of those either additional shifts or some more hands on deck at that point in time, and that becomes a lot more manageable through your seasonal peaks. And then just from a HR perspective, if you are constantly finding that you are needing to hire staff and train them, and it's team staff and they make mistakes and there's health and safety challenges, and really just that inefficiency with being able to run your warehouse operation properly, being less dependent on that manual labor aspect really can be a driving factor in determining whether it's time to really consider automation seriously. Thanks, Keller.
Awesome. Thank you, Marcel. Thank you, Awantha. Thank you, Ryan, for those case studies. Awesome. So now we are moving on to our last part, which is the Q&A session. I can see some questions here, and I can also see that our speakers have answered some of them, which is great. So one of the questions was, will the slides be posted or will the slides be shared post the webinar? Yes, they will be downloadable. So after this, you will get a survey and this PowerPoint. Someone had asked, what are some ways to avoid bottlenecking in the inbound and outbound processes? I'll leave it for you guys to answer that.
Very good. I'm happy to answer that question. So certainly when it comes to inbounding and outbounding stock, obviously from an inbounding perspective, you're really looking at all your container unloading, your palletizing or decanting into totes or your carriers. Really having a very strong management system that can guide your pickers as to when something gets inducted, being able to scan in the manifests, the shipping manifest, being able to induct that stock in the most efficient way that you're not taking up unnecessary floor space. So if you often find that you need a massive section of your warehouse just to do your staging and your inbounding process, that's probably really a sign that you need to start looking at how you can more efficiently decontainerize, palletize, induct your stock into your system, whether that is standard racking or goods to person system, and just having smart scanning systems, very smart interfaces, often on mobile tablets or on an operator interface. That just helps keep things flowing very smoothly rather than having to barcode scan and manually pack away. That's just a slow and cumbersome process. On the outbounding side of things, just that same process in the reverse. If you can get the stock to your pickers in the most efficient way, being able to fulfill those orders, and that's often where satcheling machines and carton erectors and lidding machines, that packaging automation side of it, being able to combine that with a smart conveying system really helps debottleneck the whole process. Hope that answers the question all right.
Cool, thank you, Marcel. And another question is, post-implementation, can you share what the ongoing OPEX should a potential client consider?
Good, Awantha, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so generally when it comes to the ongoing OPEX would be the service and support element for the automation system should be definitely considered. Generally the first year would be under warranty and things like that. But also another thing that you would want to consider is what sort of service levels that you are looking at, because there is about 2 service levels that we do offer our customers. One would be like a core level partnership. That part would not include, let's say, spare parts. But if you do go on to like a more comprehensive sort of service level agreement with us, that would cover the spare parts element of it as well. So the OPEX would really be part of, let's say, if you do go with the core plan, it would be spare parts as well as the service and support element. But if not, you're going with the comprehensive part, the spare part element would not be part of the consideration. We can provide a little bit more information as to what are the breakdowns or what are the differences between the two service models later during the thing. I think there is also another question that we probably missed, like how can a company adopt goods to person automation around their existing operation as well? Maybe Ryan, would you be kind enough to give the answer for that?
Sorry, did you mean the implementation part?
Yep. How could we implement it for an existing sort of site?
Yeah, from what I see, that for those customer work with that some of our customers is greenfield project, so it's easier. For brownfield, actually we try to utilize a smaller space to as I shared before that, because our implementation time is very fast, so we can shorten the implementation time and utilize a smaller space to dismantle all your existing rackings and doing a very fast implementation to make sure it takes up less time for your implementation and also your cost for implementation. So I think that's the major part that we're working on.
Awesome. Cool. Wonderful. We have time for one more question. Let me see if I can find another one. No, I think we're good for questions. If anyone else has questions, now is your time to submit the last ones. Then we will wrap up for this webinar. Oh, here we go. How do you approach the safety implications of an AMRS in warehousing environment?
Yeah, I can take this one. Excellent. So with any of these autonomous systems, whether it be fixed automation or robotic arms, AMRs, AGVs, there's a big safety element to it, and there's a lot of regulations and standards that needs to be followed with both the design and the deployment of the automation systems. So generally, the steps that we'll take there is we'll do a comprehensive risk assessment to understand exactly how your operations and your people will interact with the automation. At that point in time, we can see what the risks are, if something was to go wrong, what's the severity, and be able to really document and record the risks and how we mitigate those risks throughout the design. And there's a whole hierarchy of how we address each of those risks. Obviously, we try and engineer reduce the risks, mitigate the risks, eliminate the risks, and be able to step through that whole process. And certainly then from an interaction, once the system has been deployed, there's quite a rigorous process we step through to validate and to make sure that the system is operational, both according to the standards of how it should operate, but also make sure that everything is tested to make sure that it actually works in that way. Because at the end of the day, you want your staff to be able to come to work with all their fingers and toes and leave with all their fingers and toes. So make sure that it's safe to interact with.
Okay. To also add to that, a previous question when it comes to the existing operations as well, I believe Marcel and the team are working on starter grids for our customers for both PopPick and also possibly Robo Shuttle. It can be a starting point for you guys for an existing operation and expand the solution from there onwards as well. So there are many ways to tackle an existing operation.
Awesome. Cool. Great. So thank you, everyone. That brings us to today's webinar. A big thank you to everyone for joining us online, and a special thank you to our guest speakers from Geek Plus, Awantha and Ryan. Thank you for sharing your insights with us. We hope you found this session valuable, and have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar.
Thank you, Kayla. Thanks, Marcel. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, everyone.